Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're cracking open a highly classified file to reconstruct one of the most terrifying, reality-altering events in modern history. We're talking about the Poly airspace breach. We're going to break down the timeline, the hard evidence, and an impossible encounter that happened right under the cover of darkness. So put yourself in the shoes of the officers on the ground, because we are going to piece together exactly what fell from the stars that night. Let's dive right in. We're kicking off our timeline at exactly 1:45 a.m. inside the heavily guarded Palimalaya Air Base in Jaffna. Now, security here is notoriously tight, but this night, it's about to take a wild turn into the complete unknown. Picture this. A young officer named Akash is in the radar room, just doing his normal monitoring, when out of nowhere, an impossible anomaly pops up on his screen. And right off the bat, Akash knows for a fact this isn't some rogue fighter jet. I mean, the way this thing was moving, it completely defied all known aerospace physics. It wasn't just moving fast, it was plummeting at a speed calculated at 10 times the speed of light. 10 times. And it wasn't even a clean track. The signal was just flickering in and out on the radar, almost like a ghost glitching in the system. Obviously, Akash immediately alerts his superiors that something is hurtling towards them at an absolutely incomprehensible velocity. Section 1. Ground Zero, the Palm Grove. So exactly 5 minutes after that terrifying blip on the radar, the theoretical gets very real, very fast. A blinding blue flash completely lights up the night sky. This sends Akash and a rapid response unit of 5 armed commandos sprinting into a dense, rain-swept palm grove near the base. And keep in mind, the weather is just awful. Heavy rain, violent winds. It sets this incredibly tense, chaotic stage for what they're about to stumble into. When they actually reached Ground Zero, they didn't just find your typical crash site. Oh no, this was a scene of total devastation. Right smack in the middle of the grove was this massive impact crater. And sitting right at the center of it, a strange, metallic spacecraft, just burning intensely. But here is the kicker, the thing that immediately shifts this from a basic recovery mission to a highly dangerous tactical situation. They found biological traces in the mud that were decidedly non-human. As they're scanning the muddy ground around this burning wreckage, a literal chill runs down Akash's spine. You know what they found? Clear, bloody footprints walking away from the craft. But these footprints had exactly 3 toes. Just 3. This is that heart-dropping moment where the reality of the situation really hits them. Akash immediately issues a hush warning to his squad. The occupant of that ship is alive, it got out, and it is out there in the dark with them. So the commandos fan out, right? Sweeping this dark, pouring rain grove with their flashlights, and suddenly, a chilling sound echoes from the treetops right above them. Click, click. The noise is so unnatural, so terrifying in the pitch black, that one of the commandos literally drops his flashlight in pure panic. In that split second, the whole team realizes they aren't just hunting for a survivor anymore. They are being watched from above. Section 2, Encounter Tactical Timeline. Let's break down how this whole thing builds over a ridiculously tense 5-minute window, looking at the exact sequence of events that led straight to first contact. Okay, this timeline perfectly maps out the rapid, heart-pounding escalation out there in the grove. At 2:10 a.m., the flashlight beams finally catch the target hiding high up in a palm tree. Just 2 minutes later, at 2:12 a.m., total panic sets in, a shot is fired, and there's a sudden defensive countermeasure. Then, at 2:15 a.m., the whole situation completely flips from a deadly combat scenario into a literally impossible interaction. So let's take a closer look at what exactly they found up in that tree at 2:10. The profile of this entity is straight up terrifying. Biologically speaking, the commandos reported looking at a creature covered head to toe in green and gray scales, with massive, glowing blue eyes, about twice the size of a human's. And technologically, it wasn't messing around. It was armed with a highly advanced laser weapon and was wearing this really strange device right on its forehead. So this wasn't just some lost animal. This was an advanced, heavily equipped extraterrestrial operator. Right at 2:12 a.m., the tension just snaps. One of the commandos, fully panicking, raises his rifle and actually fires at the creature. But here's the crazy part, the alien doesn't shoot back to kill. Instead, in a fraction of a second, it uses that handheld laser weapon to instantly melt the commando's rifle into useless molten slag. Just like that, the threat is completely neutralized, and not a single drop of human blood is spilled. It was this calculated, overwhelmingly superior display of tech. Then at 2:15 a.m., the creature actually jumps down from the tree. But it doesn't attack. Instead, it reaches up and taps that small device on its forehead. Suddenly, a voice comes right through their audio channels, speaking directly into Akash's headset in a perfect human language. It said, "Earthlings, drop your weapons. I am not here to attack you." I mean, wow, that little translator device literally bridged the cosmic gap in an instant. You can only imagine the utter shock. Picture Akash standing in this rain-soaked grove, staring face to face with a scaled, blue-eyed extraterrestrial that literally just melted a gun, and it's speaking into his earpiece. Absolutely stunned, but somehow keeping his cool, Akash demands answers. He asks what have to be the two most important questions in the history of mankind. Who are you, and why are you here? Section 3. The Ultimatum and the Dictator's Fleet. Well, the creature's response changes the fate of humanity forever. It reveals that it's actually a defector. It deliberately stole that crashed metallic spacecraft to reach Earth and warn us of a literal impending apocalypse. The alien goes on to explain the chilling motive behind this coming war. According to the defector, our planet isn't just some random speck of dust in the cosmos. No, Earth is actually the biggest, most beautiful terrestrial, meaning rocky, planet in the entire universe. And because of this unparalleled status, a cruel dictator from the aliens' homeworld has a massive target on our backs. The dictator's ultimate goal? To send a highly destructive fleet to wipe out humanity entirely and claim the planet for themselves. This alien defected specifically to warn us and help us fight back. But guys, the warning comes terribly, terribly late. Literally the second the alien finishes explaining this nightmare to Akash, the environment itself reacts. The dark, rainy skies over Jaffna instantly flash into this unnatural, terrifying blood red. The defector's arrival wasn't just a warning, it was a starting gun. The dictator's forces had tracked the stolen ship, and this is the exact moment everything changes. Tearing straight through the clouds, not one, not 10, but hundreds of bizarre, pitch-black spacecraft descend simultaneously into the airspace over Jaffna. There's no diplomatic channel, no grace period, nothing. The space war officially kicked off right then and there, plunging that airbase and the entire world into an immediate cosmic conflict. Which really leaves us with this final, chilling thought. We went from a quiet, boring radar room at 1:45 a.m. to a full-scale planetary invasion in just a matter of minutes. As those black ships descend from that blood-red sky, the ultimate question remains. Is humanity in any way prepared to defend the biggest terrestrial planet in the universe? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes on the skies and never stop questioning what might be out there.